Episode 352. At least it's going to be our extra special star this episode. At least for the first half or something like that. Maybe just for the first 15 minutes or even less than that. We'll have to figure out what we want to do with the rest of the episode, but I'm pretty sure with the amount of time we're going to have, it's going to be one thing and one thing only. But we'll get into that in a second. I'll never get used to it, killing my own countrymen. In the heat of battle, it's either you or them, but after. When you've had time to think about what you've done. I can imagine how you must feel, but I want you to know that many of us here are grateful for what you did at Castrum Abonia. Alice will make a full recovery, but I doubt she will be well enough to take to the field again before this is over. Oh really? She's just out of the story. I guess that makes sense. I've been thinking, if Alice needs more time to heal, maybe we should move her to Ralger's Reach. She can receive much better care there after all. Our infirmary is probably the best place for her, short of sending her to Gridania. If I recall correctly, that infirmary was not very well stocked, but I guess that makes more sense than here. Indeed, and given what Mistress Vogt has told us, I'd rather she did not remain here. Then it's settled. Nago, you go and see about getting us a carriage and an escort. Alphinote, you should get your sister ready for the journey. And of course, I'm gonna have to clear my throat again right at the very start of the episode. This is always the pattern, or more often than not the pattern. I'm fine talking most of the day, just with normal life stuff. As soon as I sit down to record, there's something about it that makes my throat act up. Komoy, would you mind going on ahead and telling Orella, that we're on our way? I want to bed waiting for Alice when she arrives. Thanks. I guess we are the one that can teleport better than the rest of them. That's like canon, right? It must seem strange seeing me doling out orders, but not half as strange as it feels to do it, let me tell you. They'll learn what it means to live free. We'll teach them, together. So yeah, this is a point in the story where we kind of have a little bit of downtime. We go back to Ralger's Reach rather than pressing forward the advantage or whatever. And then after that, we'll let things play out, and then with that downtime we're going to spend some time on some other things that I need to clean up, I guess. Mainly two things. Probably nothing other than those two things. Do you require assistance? No, my friend does. Very well, we will make ready to receive the patient at once. Give me a hand, would you? There, all crisp and freshly laundered. Oh, that's the same bed that Ishtola used, or did she use the one next to it? We're here. Is everything in order? Freshly laundered. Right, we're bringing her in. I was actually wondering if she'd even be conscious. Honestly, Alphinote, you needn't have gone through all this trouble. What can I say? It seemed a good way to discourage you from limping off to battle when my back was turned. Listen to Orella, please. You need your rest. I know. Any news of Carl? She'll be cross if you make her wait too long, as will I. A chilling prospect indeed. I'll find her, sister, and I'll fight twice as hard for the both of us. But you're the healer. Kind of. I guess he's a summoner. And a healer. Necromedician, was it? They're good together, when they're not at each other's throats. I miss that feeling. Oh. Pabalimo. Komoy, I have a favor to ask. Would you mind waiting outside for me? I won't be a moment. Waiting outside, I'm pretty sure that means it's going to be curated time of day, right? It has to be for this cutscene. We'll find Kral and bring her home. After all, I need her to tell you to stay in bed. I should have been there with you to the end. If only I hadn't been so reckless. Well, how could you know she had, like, the Sharingan, basically? Here we are. And we're waiting. And the time of day curates. No, it didn't. I hope this cutscene doesn't happen at this hour of time, or hour of day.
Sorry to have kept you waiting.
Yeah, she not only gets the costume change for the start of the expansion, she also gets one in the middle of the expansion. Most characters aren't so lucky.
Well, what do you think? I know it's a bit old-fashioned, but in a traditional sort of way, Ida wore it whenever she could. Not that I'm pretending to be her or anything. Not again. It's just... if this is the last battle we fight to free El Amigo, then she ought to be a part of it.
It suits you, it's not quite your style, ... I feel like this is the most kind answer, but it also feels like... I don't actually think it's not her style, but I feel like Komori would say this, and at the same time, the other clothes that she used to wear, like, right before this, and the whole getup with the mask and everything, I guess that's what you came to know her as, so... this will just feel like a friendly jab or something like that. Maybe. I don't know.
Oh, I know, right? All these stupid frills everywhere.
No, you like it.
Anyway, the real reason I asked you here was to sneak in a warm-up before the final battle.
Oh, wait.
There's this place I know where monks used to spar as part of their training. Care to join me?
Damn it, I should have changed costumes before we did this. This would have made more sense in our ninja costume. I knew this was coming, and I was planning to do this, a costume change. I just forgot it happened right then and there. That's because this is a cutscene that happens, like, in the trailer. Oh, they did change the time of day. Well, that's good. I think. I think this is dawn now. Yeah, ninja versus monk would have made much more sense. Just pretend we're doing this as a ninja right now. Please. Please pretend. Yeah, not quite as fancy as a pre-rendered cutscene, but at least we're in this cutscene rather than the default Warrior of Light. Maybe we got a little carried away, but you have to admit that was fun. Thank you, Komori. You're the best kind of friend. The kind that's not afraid to knock some sense into you. Okay, and I'm pretty sure this is going to move us on, yeah, up to the Great Lock Shore. So we're going to pretend here that the advance to Girabania, or no wait, we're in Girabania, the advance to, what's this place again? Al Amigo, is actually going to wait until the resistance is good and ready or something like that. So just like we did up there in that cutscene, we're going to do some more training or whatever in the downtime, right before the final battle, what Lee said. And our training is going to involve getting better as a black mage. I'm finally going to do the these black mage quests that I've been ignoring. It's like the only other time that I think they can fit into the story right now. Without too much hand-waving or whatever. The other thing we have to do is the Little Ladies Day event. Which is like happening right now, and I have to do it before we run out of time. But I feel like if I did that right after that cutscene with Lise, it would feel a little bit weird. If we do it right after we do all of our little Black Mage job quests, then I feel like it'll fit a bit better. Oh, they've got that guy from last year. No, we're saving that for when we actually do the event. No, that's not the door in. Over here. Before we move on though, I think maybe for the thumbnail this might look better. Or wait, maybe I should wait until we have more decent daylight. Well, it depends on what we use for the cutscene. Could be the one like on top of the hand. Or like when she walks in. You know what? We'll just we'll do the first quest here and then I'll grab this footage later. I could even do it off screen. I should probably do it off screen, but as long as I remember, I want to do it now. So where do we actually begin? Right, it would be over there. No wait, this isn't actually the Black Mages Guild. Where you're asking me to do this? Milvinus. Oh right, that's where we hang out with that person whose name I forget, the actual Black Mage. Because all the Thaumaturge quests were over in the Thaumaturge's Guild, and the Black Mage stuff happens over here. Actually, the sun is now out, more or less. Wait, wrong way. I should just use the internet. We'll go ahead and grab this quest, and then it should be decent enough daylight to grab the footage in a second. Pretty sure this won't take too long. And this would be the last set of quests we get as a Black Mage, because they stopped doing it after Stormbringer. I'm pretty sure this is like a good one. I remember watching a YouTuber do this before I even started playing the game. Ah, Komoy, I'm glad you are here. I would consult with you about a matter that has been gnawing at my mind. Thanks in no small part to your efforts, the books of Nalthal have at long last been reunited in these halls. Their long-lost secrets just waiting to be unearthed. Though I have scarcely begun poring over the tomes, I've already made a most remarkable discovery. Each of the twin tomes contained a cipher of sorts, the meaning of which could only be deciphered when the two are referenced in tandem. I will spare you the details of how I unraveled the message, though it truly was among my finer moments, if I dare say so myself. At any rate, the words, once decoded, are most evidently an incantation, albeit one entirely unfamiliar to me. Beneath it was writ a simple directive. Heir to the dark arts, speak these words unto Nal's reflection, that memories long forgotten may stir anew. As to what precisely these words are referencing, your guess is as good as mine. Still, Master Kukuruka doubtless preserved the incantation and the accompanying message in his records for a reason, and if we are not the heirs to the art of black magic, then who is? So I trust I can expect to see you at Nald's reflection, and do try to hurry, yes? I would prefer not to delay any potentially epoch-making discoveries any longer than necessary. Okay, let's immediately delay that and grab that footage I was talking about. It's a perfect time for it, it's like right at dawn. I'm pretty sure the sunlight is going to be immaculate over in Ralger's Reach, unless like... well, maybe like due to the walls around the area could be very shadowed or something. The cutscene is quite short with Lise. It'd be nice if they had like something more involved, but since your class is... oh wait, it's not that. And since your class can be anything for that cutscene, I guess I can't just like have you fight hand to hand like they do in the trailer. Would be the second one, right? Actually, let's get both of them, just in case. We want the good sunlight out for when she walks out in the dress, and that might be the thumbnail. I couldn't quite tell if there was a good thumbnail for when we were up on the hand.
Sorry to have kept you waiting.
That one's a bit far.
Well, what do you think? I know it's a bit old-fashioned, but in a traditional sort of way, Ida wore it whenever she could.
That one's pretty close.
Not that I'm pretending to be her or anything. Not again. It's just...
We'll say it suits you this time. A fun way to get the dialogue you missed the other times.
It's nice of you to say so. And a bit embarrassing. But mostly nice.
Actually, I think I just missed the perfect thumbnail when she put her hands together like that. Whatever. I think we're probably fine. Let's... oh, oops. Okay, well. Meant to trigger the second cutscene. I guess since we're doing this now, we'll just grab that thing that I mentioned missing just now. I really don't want to do this for every episode, but sometimes I just end up doing it because, again, the lighting is always something a bit of a sore spot for me.
Well?
And I guess we get to see the third version of the dialogue. Yeah, that spin was pretty good too.
Not that I'm pretending to be...
Stunned into silence. Neutral expression.
Well, don't just stand there gawping. If you don't like it, just say so.
She's pretty fun. Oh wait, she only did the hands together thing when we did the first option. Well, we're not going back for it. Okay, show me the other version, or the other cutscene. The time of day was already curated for this cutscene, but in case there's like a moment where we're both on screen that I want to use as a thumbnail, I want to have this costume on. If that does become the thumbnail. That might have been it, where she had her eyes open. Scenes like that where one character is on the left side and one character is on the right side don't really work too well as a thumbnail, just because the center is big and empty. Anyway, we kept this guy waiting, huh? I guess Eli's a girl, I sometimes forget. It's hard to tell. We're spending most of the episode on this Black Mage stuff, but I'm still committed to making Lise a thumbnail, just because that's like an important cutscene or something, and an important costume change. We can do Black Mage stuff as a thumbnail for like the following episodes, because we're not getting done with this job quest stuff right now, even with most of the episode on our side. We're doing this immediately, huh? Getting right into a fight. Fine by us. And that is all you need to know. When I give the sign, you are to chant the words precisely as I instructed, understood? Now, Komoi. Chanting, chanting. hidden in the pot all along. That light. You, yes, you shall serve as a bringer of destruction. As for my vessel, ah yes, that one should suffice. Whatever was that strange sensation? For a moment, it was as if a great fire burned within me, and then... Now it is as if my very mind is being rent in two. And this voice... Well, it feels good to walk the earth for the first time in 2 millennia. Seems that old could proved useful after all. If he hadn't kicked it, I'd find him and give him a pat on the back. And what are you gawking at? You are a black mage, are you not? Surely you possess the common sense to recognize the woman who stands before you, or will you be needing a hint? Give me a hint. We're terrible at trivia. Some would call me Death's Handmaiden, but I always found that particular epithet to be so needlessly morbid. Though technically speaking, I am but a manifestation of a memory. You may call me by the name I used in life. Shatodo, at your service. But I jest, of course. It's you who are at mine. Yeah. It was called Shades of Shatodo, so it was no secret, but this is our little allusion to a fan-favorite character, Shatodo. I must say, what is it with black mages today and these unwieldy hats? Do they truly believe it makes them look more imposing? Yeah, that's why we don't wear it. Or are they needlessly, or are they merely compensating for something? In either event, I have no need of such adornments. I mean, I like the hat, it's pretty iconic. Just couldn't really ever imagine Komori wearing it. Okay, yeah, and when the hat comes off, she's already got Shatodo's haircut, conveniently. Now that's more like it. Komori, was it? Of course it was. Now that we're on a first-name basis, you'll have to tell me all about yourself. On second thought, let's skip that. Time is short, and to be quite honest, I don't particularly care. At any rate, as I might have mentioned, I am not the true Shatodo as she once lived, but rather a manifestation of her memory, my memory. Needless to say, that still makes me the most powerful sorceress currently existing in your world. Love the attitude, it's fantastic. You do well to remember that, if you ever have a mind to cross me. Well then, now that we've gotten the pleasantries out of the way, what do you say we have a little fun? Prepare to be blasted into a gazillion itty-bitty pieces. Oh, it's her. I didn't think it'd be her. I said I've seen this before, but I don't remember like everything. Oh come now, must I spell everything out for you? I must know if you are sufficiently adept at the dark arts to help me forestall impending doom, and this is by far the easiest way to do so, not to mention the most fun. Prepare for a world of pain. Purple versus red. Do we know triple cast? I think we were synced down, so we don't know triple cast. Don't have our big fancy opener, but that's fine. At least we have ley lines. Should have activated ley lines a little bit later. Nope, she's got more. Get out of here. And lightning. And back to this. Another one, huh? Come on, we're doing fine. Was I standing in that? Okay, I wasn't. Good. Oh, it's still alive. Get up right close and personal. Black mages are supposed to stand away, but I guess we're both black mages, so it doesn't matter. Origin of thunder, you say? Put thunder on that thunder. No, wait, no, it's already gone. Origins of ice. Fancy spells. Ah, they do things. They do things other than just attack. Oh, this one seems like a big one. Look, the mana ward. Oh, I should have addled her. Oh, she keeps on putting on separation before they... Okay, so we just have to beat her before she keeps doing that. Luckily we're a quick spell. A quick spell caster, rather. Quick spell, whatever. Like a quick draw but with magic, quick spell. Not half bad. That painfully dull expression on your face had me worried, but I suppose you'll do after all. Do for what? Try to keep up, will you? We didn't say anything. I abhor repeating myself. Let me start at the beginning. 2,300 years ago, the greatest mage our realm has ever known, that would be me, compiled a choice assortment of the most potent offensive incantations and evocations into the school known as Black Magic. Yeah, this is our last set of quests for the Black Mage, and it's a pretty good one with this character involved. You still seem puzzled. I also devised a spell that would allow my memory to one day return. My reasons were twofold. For one, I simply had to see for myself how the art of destruction would be handed down eras after I inevitably passed. For another, I knew that without my guidance, this realm would one day meet most certain... No, this won't do. I thought to go stronger than this, but these eyelids grow heavy, and my consciousness wanes. I suppose I'll have to just have to take a little nap. But remember this, my puppet of destruction. You have an important role to play in the battle to come. A battle that will decide the fate of your very world. Till next I wake, shirk not your study of the art. Yeah, kind of funny that we came here to train for the big final battle, but this sounds even more important than our little war against the Guardians, if it's the fate of the world. From 2,300 years ago, no less. Komoy, where are we? It is as if I woke from the strangest dream. And yet my every limb aches, as if my respite was more exhausting than my fiercest of battles. Did you perchance observe anything odd happen to me? Didn't even remember. Well. Preposterous, or so most would say. But you have no reason to tell me falsehoods, and it would certainly explain the curious symptoms I find myself experiencing. Shitoto, the mother of our dark art, she who pursued the power of destruction, to and beyond any limits that could be conceived, has her consciousness truly taken up residence in my own mind? It is no use. I call out, but she does not answer. Whether she slumbers or simply deigns not to answer, I cannot say. I fear I am at something of a loss. Let us return to the Sacrarium and clear our heads. Maybe the answers we seek will yet reveal themselves to us. Whenever I do like 2 or more things in an episode that are kind of unrelated to each other, I have to sort of play this game of what I'm going to name the episode and what I use as the thumbnail. And sometimes the stars align with the naming of the episode, where I can come up with something that applies to both things or something like that. I think I have an idea for what I'm going to use for this episode just based on what just happened and the thing with Lise. I think it's an okay episode title, maybe. I'm afraid it's no use. I have called out to Shitoto within my mind, time and time again, but I am met only with silence. If only Master was still here, surely he could shed some light on the matter. After all, it was he that recorded for posterity the words we used to summon forth Shitoto's memory. Wait, that's it. Master himself may not be here, but his writings may yet contain the answer to our queries. It was within the statue of Null that the memory slumbered. This does not strike me as mere coincidence. I believe that settles it. I will return to the tomes and see what knowledge can be gleaned, that we might prepare ourselves for whatever task awaits us. This holds for you as well, Kamui. Whatever Chitoto's motives for returning to us, I cannot shake the feeling that ill happenings are afoot. I suggest you resume your studies with the utmost of urgency. Yeah? I think we're studied enough. Probably this episode and the next one will be Black Mage stuff. We might even finish earlier than I think. We'll see. Ah, Komoi, good. For better or worse, it would seem Chitoto is still enjoying herself a peaceful slumber. In the meantime, my study of the books of Naltal has proven rather enlightening. In particular, I was surprised to learn that while the statue in Nal's reflection is a relatively recent construction, in historical terms, of course, the goblet it holds in its hands is quite ancient. It would appear that it was within that vessel Mistress Chitoto's soul was sealed away. Master's record goes on to state that the inner surface of the goblet is inscribed with a message in the glyphs of ancient Mach. It reads, ah yes, here it is. The power of destruction did rend the baleful star, and peace does reign near and far. Wait, hang on. This is actually... I noticed while we were talking to Chitoto, she doesn't do the thing of like rhyming every line. I kind of forgot if she did that or not in this game. But I'm remembering now, I think she only does it for like these prophecies or something, so let's try to read this unbroken. The power of destruction did rend the baleful star, and peace does reign near and afar. Yet 23 centuries hence shall it come anew, and certain doom is sure to ensue. A prophecy of sorts, it would seem. It has been roughly 2,300 years. She did actually say 2,300. I feel like often in games they don't do that, they say 2,300 or something. It's hard to know, like, when they use colloquialisms like 2,300. Anyway, 2,300 years since Chitoto founded black magic, which means it is entirely possible she herself left the inscription. But whatever sort of doom could the prophecy be referring to? I fear it is all rather cryptic. The lie, and Komoi as well. I would speak with the both of you at once. Now who's this? Oh, it's you. I guess this is like our last set of Black Mage quests, so we're bringing back like everyone. Ahem. Well, I would like nothing more than to catch up on old times. I come bearing grave tidings. My friends, pray lend me your aid. Well, if it isn't our favorite Gabu-headed hero, I would have thought the seventh hell would freeze over before you cast your lot with purveyors of destruction. What have we done to deserve the honor of your groveling? There is no time for just a lie. The situation is most dire. Why, a veritable horde of crazed golems has burst forth from the lost city, and is wreaking havoc on the 12th Wood even as we speak. Whatever foul sorcery led them to abandon their orders and run rampant, we cannot say. But one thing is certain, if we do not deal with them, and do so swiftly, there is no telling what damage they might inflict upon our forest home. That does sound like cause for concern. Very well. I suppose it would not kill us to put the matter of Chitoto aside for the moment and... Wait, no, not now. Ugh. Then the hat comes off. I guess not now. I say, how can the girl think straight with this ungodly fool's cap weighing her head down? Or perhaps she can't, and that is why... But of course, it all makes perfect sense. Oh, hello there. Did you miss me and my prodigious intellect? Of course you did. Yeah, we did. Now look, we haven't much time, so do try to keep pace. The Sword of Ether? Just who or what are you? Yes, I'm sure there's so much you'd like to know. But where would that be, or where would that get us? I've already heard all I need to know to the girl's ears. We are needed in the South Shroud, yes? Rampaging golems, was it? Indeed. I have tasked a whaler named Alphine with looking into the matter. With any luck, he has gleaned some knowledge which might avail us in plotting a suitable course of action. Alphine, South Shroud. Yes, I believe the great Chitoto has all she needs. Well, come now. No point in standing around like gawping gobbies, and there's work to be done, right? Right. Moves fast, this one. Very admirable. Chitoto, Komoi, I am most grateful for your aid, but do not get me wrong. But if there is anything that you and the lie have been keeping from me, mark my words. I will hear of it in full when our task is done. Yeah. Always a snitch, this guy. Never allowed to practice dark magic in peace. What's that noise? Is that the broom? I guess it must be the broom. I never knew that minion made that annoying noise. It should be a good thing if we wrap up in the next episode the job quest. The job quest line. Because this event actually shouldn't be active for too much longer. I mean, it's active for a good almost week or so at the time of recording. One more week, more, or whatever. With my recording schedule, it's always a question whether or not I fit the event quests into where I want them, like in the story or whatever. Sometimes I just have to make do. The sheer etheric energy I feel exuding from the girl is nothing short of astounding. Could it be that Cap was reigning in her true power all this time? Wait, what? Was that not a joke? Like the Sting Shitoto said. I thought it was just like a joke. How can the girl think straight with this ungodly fool's Cap weighing her down? And then she says it all makes perfect sense. Was the hat actually holding her back? And obviously that's not just like a joke or whatever. I thought the surge of etheric power was just Shitoto's memory, like, giving her more power. But I guess it really is just memory or something, and it's not power that she's getting when Shitoto kicks in. Maybe the lie has, like, had this huge power surge, or huge reservoir of power, that she kept secret by having some sort of weighted hat or something like that. Interesting. It's so much easier to think without that excess bulk weighing on my brain. For the life of me, I'll never understand people's obsession with extravagant headgear. I mean, for the right headgear, I'll have Komori wear it, I guess. Do any of my glamours? Okay, I guess I can't check, but I guess we have the hat on the machinist. It's not that extravagant, though. And I can't really remember anything else that we wore on, like, the other things. Whatever. But the right big hat makes all the difference. Welcome, friends. You come seeking news of the golems, yes? Would that I had any to give. I fear not a single one of the creatures has manifested itself before mine eyes. So you say, my good man, but it is possible that you do not see the trees for the forest. Sometimes that which we seek is right before us, and we need only to attune our vision. Why, is it just me, or do I spy a number of curious stone structures peeking out from the brush? Yes, I have an inkling that our foe may be hiding in plain sight. But just how is one to distinguish living stone from the more ordinary type? Why, I do believe the former would take far less kindly to being scorched with a burst of hell's fire. So the plan is clear, yes? Let's get blasting. Yeah, let's get blasting. Not doing your job, Alphine. If I understand the woman correctly, the golems have disguised themselves as ordinary stone, and she means to unmask them by haphazardly incinerating every rock in the woods. Well, I suppose 'tis as good a plan as any. Not like you had a better one. You missed them. How do you miss a bunch of stones just, like, walking out of the door like that? Or wherever they came from? And when you think of golems, you don't ever really think of them as being stealthy, hiding as, like, a bunch of random stones. I mean, maybe in, like, a fantasy show or media or something like that, the adventurers stumble across some rocks and the rocks come to life, surprisingly, into a golem or something like that. I never really think of them as, like, sneaking around, and this isn't exactly sneaking around, is it? Honestly, how do you miss this? This is very suspicious. A curious structure of stone stands motionless before you. Yeah. Oh, I guess we have to, like, actually blast it. Or not? Wait. Oh, wait. We're targeting... There we go. Oh, wait. We are targeting the right thing. Oh, cast fire 3, okay. No, that didn't actually cast fire 3, it didn't actually count. Don't put any orange down on my ley lines. Okay. I guess you put it down, but we were too fast. I guess we also have triple cast. I'm pretty sure this does make the GCD slower than if we used ley lines. So in other words, ley lines is a DPS increased, while triple cast is just like a movement thing, sort of. Unless you're using triple cast on something that actually has a longer cast time than GCD, like the AoEs. Interesting distinction, if I have that right. I do not want this music playing. I guess we're getting into a fight, so it doesn't really matter, but still. No, Skaze did not finish it off like I planned. Whenever we're fighting something, I try to gauge whether or not Skaze can finish it off, because that'd be faster than waiting for the cast time of fire. But Skaze does not do that much damage, so I can rarely ever get that right. And it doesn't really matter, it's just like one GCD anyway. Is our friend quite well? I only saw her from afar, but it was as if the girl took some perverse pleasure in causing as much destruction as she could muster. That's why we love her. That was fun, wasn't it? Now, while I'm not wont to repeat myself, it seems I should make an exception for the slower members of our band. You have the privilege of standing before the Archmage Shitodo, or rather a memory of the same, which has awakened after years of slumber to rescue your realm from a fate most dire. Slower? Ahem, Lady Shitodo, if that is truly who you are, I cannot deny your arcane prowess. And yet there is much more about this matter that does not sit well with me. Pray explain yourself. What is this dire fate of which you speak? Oh dear, you really aren't very smart. Very well, I shall begin from the very, beginning. Dear me, did I almost rhyme? Who does that anyway? Yeah. Where did she almost rhyme? Right, she almost said start, right? Oh dear, you really aren't very smart. Very well, I shall begin from the very start. Har har. Anyhow, the tale begins some 2 millennia ago, when the great civilization of Mach was still in its infancy. Our scholars ascertained that a mighty comet, awash with unspeakable ethereal energy, was on course to strike our fair home and reduce it to so much rubble, and so I thought to rectify the situation the only way I knew how, by blasting the foul rock out of the sky with the most powerful destructive magic our realm had ever seen. This, more than anything, was what spurred me to developing the art of black magic as it is known today. Needless to say, my plan was a remarkable success. A massive chunk of the comet was shattered, knocking it clear off its path, and sending it spinning harmlessly off into the heavens. The story, however, does not end there. Fragments of the meteor hurtled to and embedded themselves in the earth. While small enough that their surface, or enough that their impact, caused no significant damage, they remained beneath the surface, brimming with etheric energies just waiting to be unearthed. Needless to say, these otherworldly stones drew the attention of mages far and wide, who sought to claim their powers for their own. These are the stones that gave the golems their souls, by whose powers many a city-state flourished. Like, in lore, or rather, not just like some golems, she's talking about all golems, is that what she means? Like, is this the lore for how golems, period, came to be in this realm? Interesting. And yet, these stones held yet further secrets. When 2 of them were brought together, they would call out to one another, ether reacting to ether to augment their mutual powers to still greater heights. Mind you, the power of mere fragments, even in a heightened state, would be far too meager to be cause for concern. One threat, however, still lingered. What if the comet, the mother stone as it were to return its circuitous orbit, bring it in shouting distance of our world once more? Would not its remnants, its children, summon it hither, in all its destructive glory. Preposterous. Did your vaunted black magic not knock the comet clear across the skies? Yeah, I feel like we're kind of glossing over that. Like, how she blasted that thing from orbit. Or blasted it out of orbit. Whatever. Why, it is simply inconceivable that its new path would bring it around back in our direction. Well, I guess you'd have to, like, know some things about trajectories in space and astronomy. Is that the right term? Well, whatever the term is, like, how things orbit around the sun and whatever, because comets are a real thing, so I guess it's not too preposterous to think that it would just be slightly off course but also return. Inconceivable to feebler minds, mayhap, but not my own. In fact, I posit that the comet is drawing nearer every moment, and it is for this very reason that the golems are now running amok. If left unattended, the implications for this world would be calamitous indeed. Fortunately, if you have an ally in the impending battle, a prodigy who foresaw the danger that was to come, and sent her memory into the future that she might return to save the day. Do you mean to say that you predicted that this threat would come, over 2,000 years ago, mind you, and devised an incantation for the sole purpose of allowing you to return to us in our time of need? Yeah, that's what she said. I do believe I've already said precisely that, yeah. Of course, I did not do it entirely on my own. The spell would have been lost to history if crazy old Kukaruka hadn't dug it up when he did, and recorded it for posterity. Dear little Olai and Kamui also played their parts as well. Oh, how wonderful it is when one's followers, against their natural tendencies, perhaps, manage not to make an utter mess of things. I guess black mages do make a mess of things. I must admit, the whole story still strikes me as a bit far-fetched. I mistrust neither your motives nor your skill, Lady Shitoto, but as a hero charged with the protection of this wood, I cannot leave this matter to you alone. I will accompany you and offer what aid I can, but first let us return to Ul'dah. I would hear more of your plan, the plan you propose, before we take action. Must you? Very well. Just promise you will not get in our way. Now come along, my puppets. I have a realm to save, and you're coming to help me. We're her puppets. It's fun. It's fun being Chitoto's puppet. And you, do your job better next time. There's a calmness in the air. Yes, I do believe the danger has passed. I thank you, friend. Alright, we're wrapping up this quest. We'll probably take on the next quest and stop in the middle of it at the end of this episode. I think that should put us halfway through the halfway mark for the quest, like exactly halfway through or something. Right on time to finish the last quest in the next episode, like right at the very end. Hopefully anyway. I don't really want to tack on the Little Lady's Day stuff onto the end of the next episode. Kind of want to save it for its own episode. By the way, any reaction? No. Oh no, wait. I want to get the flavor text from... well, whatever. The hero assures me that there have been no golem uprisings elsewhere, and since he clearly is too thick to tell a convincing lie, I'm inclined to believe him. This means that we still have time to form a plan of attack. Ahem, I do pride myself on my honesty, and so I will be honest with you when I say this. Your art is, to put it kindly, not looked fondly upon in our day and age, and your story stretches the limits of believability. We cannot stave off this calamity alone, but any entreaties you might make are not like to find a receptive audience. I, on the other hand, have friends in positions of some prominence. I shall reach out to them and see what aid they are willing to offer. How charming. He actually thinks he might prove useful. In your spare time, might you not ask your astrologian friends? Right, I was thinking that would be like their field of expertise. I mean, literally. If they have any recent calculations on the comet's path. I have no reason to doubt the accuracy of my own, of course, but I was working off 2 millennia old data. As you wish. Forgive me for being forward, but might I inquire as to the well-being of our mutual friend Lai? She is still in there somewhere, perhaps? Or in there somewhere, yes? Oh, she most certainly is. Worry not. The girl's consciousness is just enjoying a short respite. Which reminds me, I really am due for a nap myself. Be a dear and do try to not let things go to hell in my absence, will you? Shitoto, mother of the art that brought the great floods upon us. Has she truly returned to deliver us from doom? I mean, it's not like she brought the floods, but still. The progenitor of our esteemed art has chosen me as her vessel, in hopes of saving our world from a falling star. I can scarce imagine a greater honor. Come, Komoy, we must put our minds together and figure out how we might best do her bidding. Wait, the lie. If we take her words at face value, Shitoto has only the realm's best interests at heart, and yet I for one remain skeptical. Which is not to say I doubt her intentions, or yours for that matter, and yet we speak of the founder of the very art which gave rise to the War of the Magi, and the Sixth Umbral Calamity. Could it not be that even in seeking to save our realm, she is like as not to destroy it? Blasphemy! Why, Lady Shitoto had long since passed, when the war broke out. Only a blind, blustering half-wit would even think to hold her responsible for... Though, when I put it that way. I understand this. And that is why I begrudge neither you nor her my aid. Wait, what does that mean? Nor her my... Oh, okay. The grammar just kind of tripped me up there a little bit. And that is why I begrudge neither you nor her my aid, such as it will serve to protect the realm's peace. At the same time, I intend to keep close watch on her. One can never be too wary, after all. Gotta have some intrigue. In any event, I will gather what knowledge I can of the threat we face, and I would be most grateful if you could do the same. Might I suggest speaking with your beastmen allies? If the idea has not already occurred to you, that is. I swear, that man's head is made of harder stone than any golem. Still, at least he is cooperating with us, which is progress of some sort. In any event, I will reach out to our beastmen friends. I encourage you to return to your studies in the meantime. If one thing is clear, it is that the task ahead will test us to our very limits. Oh wait, I could have declined the quest there and gotten the flavor text. Well, whatever, we just missed one line. It happens all the time. Right, so this is 65, and if we end in the middle of this, we'll be at like right in the halfway point. Ah, Komoy, I trust you have not been shirking your studies. Mistress Shitoto expects much of us, and I would not disappoint her. For my own part, I've called out to her intently time and again, within my mind in hopes of conveying any and all knowledge that might avail in staving off this impending disaster. Though she does not respond, I have the distinct sensation that she is listening, in some way or another. Doubtless she will return when she sees fit. But in the meantime, we can ill afford to bide our time, and so I've taken Zayan-Ilha's advice. Zayan-Ilha's. I can just see the smug grin on his face as I say that, and reached out to our friends. Not moments ago, a post-Moogle came by with a missive from our friend Da-Za of the 269th Order. As luck would have it, it seems he has knowledge that might serve as well. To wit, reports of recent sightings of rampaging golems. I would ask you to go on ahead and see what he knows. I will call for that holier-than-thou hearer and join you shortly. Not that I am enamored of his company, far from it, but his insights have proven to be not altogether useless on occasion. If only he were not so unbearably smug, the man might also be... yeah, I get it. Hot and they're cold, right? Were you not headed to Revenant's Toll to meet our friend Da-Za? We are not exactly suffering from an overabundance of time, Komoy. I like those two, though. They're, well, it's like a white mage and a black mage thing, right? It's fun. Okay. Why here, though? I would think we'd be meeting over in the secret Black Mage Cave. Our favorite spot. Komoy, it has been eons, eras, ages, eons. I have heard that the spirit of the legendary Shitoto comes alive again inside the lie. But could this wondrous tale possibly be true? Oh, you better believe it. It is indeed, friend Da-Za. She is a capricious type, though, and wakes only when she has a mind to. A fact that I have explained some 700 times to this mutton-headed hearer, who still insists beyond all reason that I should be able to summon her at will. You do me discredit, Lalai. I merely suggested that if it were some means by which we could summon Shitoto, or if there were some means, at our own convenience, rather than waiting for her to come forth of her own accord, it might serve us in facing the dangers ahead. Summon her? You speak of the illustrious founder of my art, as if she were a mere serving girl. You will watch your tongue in the presence of your betters, Zaya Nella, lest... Ugh. And there she comes. I meant no disrespect. I do not deny the power of your art, nor the good it can do in the right hands. I'm simply... too stubborn and stupid to fully accept it. Oh well, I suppose none of us are perfect. Myself included, or excluded, of course. 269th Order Mendicant Daza, I presume. Tell me all you have seen or heard about this rampaging golem. Are my eyes to be believed, trusted, sworn by, believed? Is this truly the great Shitoto who stands before my eyes? Yes, it must be. I mean, but of course, my lady. Yes. Daza will tell all he knows. I saw a strange golem, odd, curious, strange, wandering in the tangle. And that is not all. There was no ordinary golem, no, but rather the same one I saw in a tome handed down from my forebear, Dagu, a golem of ancient Mach. One of my own creations? Why, that is simply inconceivable. I designed them to be utterly rampage-proof, and left copious instructions to ensure that my loyal apprentices, well, and their apprentices, and so on and so forth, would see they stay that way. Mayhap your followers were not so diligent in carrying out your orders after your passing. We all know of the chaos and destruction wreaked by Makai sorcerers during the War of the Magi. I suspect that poring over age-old documents on the upkeep of golems was the least of their concerns. Forgive me my doubts, Lady Shitoto, but you seem quite partial to your creations, and your countrymen. If we were to find ourselves locked in combat with a golem of Mach, do I have your assurance that you would not hesitate to strike down our foe? You do not trust me, trust us. This I know. I am not deaf to the lie's ceaseless grumblings. So be it. You cannot help being a simpleton, no more than I can help being the greatest intellect of any era. That old coot Kukuruka told me what became of Makai after my passing, when he communed with me a century ago. Really, you can do that, Do you think I deny the senseless destruction caused by my descendants? With the art I myself wrought, no less? Of course not. For I, unlike some of my present companions, am not a bloody fool. Kind of glossed over it, but it's quite very cool. It's just very cool that we get to interact with the founding Black Mage, like in the lore of Final Fantasy XIV. It's a little bit overshadowed by the fact that she's an allusion to a character from a different game, but this is like huge for the lore and everything. But even a fool must understand that a tool is only as good or as evil as she who would wield it. So answer me this. What could I possibly stand to gain from standing idly by as my own creations wreak havoc on the realm I once called home? I will grant that there is some sense in what you say. In any event, we thank you for your resistance, Daza. Rest assured that we shall see to the rogue golems before any harm befalls you and yours. To the Tangle. Does that overdweller never lighten up? It must be so tiring living each day carrying around a brain of solid stone. Burdensome, wearisome, tiring. He has some points though. He has to offer some outside perspective, I guess. You can say that again, my synonym-abusing friend. Komoi. You know the man better than I, and for that, I pity you. Is there nothing we can do to buy ourselves a moment's respite from his inane quibbling? Whatever do you suppose is bothering his puny mind? He is simply in awe of your power. Mayhap he worries for the lie. I don't think Komori would pick up on the back and forth between the two. This is the right answer, but we'll just say this because Komori is stupid and all she really sees is the power, I guess, or something like that. Well, who could blame him? I suppose in some sense I could consider myself fortunate that I did not send him scurrying away with his tail between his legs the moment I first revealed my powers. In either event, if he insists on tagging along with us, I suppose it would not hurt to win him over. If only so, he does not foul things up at the worst possible time. Anyhow, I do believe we have some golems to slide into oblivion. The Tangle, was it? I'll see you there. And do try not to get lost on the way. Actually, I feel like, it would have been more interesting to say the other thing. Okay, so we're going this way to the Tangle, but let's say Komori gets lost along the way and goes over this way, just so we can end the episode in this little bar. Oh wait, I got actually lost and went to the wrong door. Okay. So we're going to sit here and Komori's going to figure out which way the Tangle is actually in, and while she does that, now would be a good time to take a break.